Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from Pocketnow.com, and this is the software and hardware review of the LG GD910 watch phone. Let's take a look. Again, this is some really futuristic technology. The ability to make a phone call from a device the size of a watch is really cool, and it also has a front-facing camera so that where supported in Europe, you can actually make video calls. So let's talk about the hardware. First, its appearance. It's actually a very nice-looking watch as a piece of jewelry. A lot of my friends have put this on and say, hey, I really like how this looks. For me, I've got kind of small wrists, so it doesn't make as much sense, but you can get the sense that with someone with a bigger wrist, especially a male, this would actually look really cool. So it's got this chrome around the edge. It's got a flat, flush space, which is, of course, the capacitive touchscreen. The band is made to look like carbon fiber, although it's definitely not. It's actually some rubbery, plasticky material, which is a shame to see on a device that costs nearly $1,000. You would think they would use higher quality materials. Of course, we've already seen this area, which is where you put the SIM card in with the special tool. I'll put a link up at the end of the video if you want to see how to put the SIM card in. We've got some contacts here that is used for the charger / sinker. So you can put this, connect this to your computer. You just go like that, you connect this wire to your computer, and that's how you charge it. That's how you sync it with all of your information, your contacts and music and anything to that effect. So let's talk about the watch itself. Let's go through a software tour. I'm going to zoom in on the screen. Okay, now it's not actually this dim. It's on this sort of screensaver mode right now, which will show you the date and the time, so it doesn't use much power. This has been on standby for many days, and it's still kicking. So let's turn it on. I'm going to wake it up by pressing the call end button over here. There's a call end, call start, and a back button. So here we get the actual clock, and you can flick through and change the clock to a variety of different styles. So you get the kind of futuristic analog style. We have a digital with a little bit of a light show. This one's more classy. 2 times in 1, so if you're traveling, you can see what time it is back home. And likewise for this screen. And this one is very digital, very modern. And we get back to the beginning. A lot of time choices. So that's the first way you interact with the watch phone. You scroll up and down to change the way the time looks, and you'll probably keep it on one particular time. Now, we can access all of the other screens by swiping right and left. So I'm going to swipe right, and over here, these are the notifications. So I can see my battery life, which is actually very much empty right now. I can see my cell phone signal, which is quite good. I'm on AT&T, as you can see. This doesn't have the proper bands to do AT&T 3G or T-Mobile 3G, but that's fine because the 3G is only used if you're doing the video chat. So there's no internet on here like you'll find on a real smartphone, but how are you going to fit internet on a device with a screen that's 160 by 128 across? It's not really made to check your email. Okay, so here we are. We can change the volume, the profiles. Very sensitive touchscreen, can be operated exclusively with your finger. In fact, it won't work with anything else because it's not a resistive touchscreen. We can turn airplane mode on and off quickly from there. If we swipe this way, we get to our calendar, which really doesn't show you too much and is not really made to input content, so you're not really supposed to use this to schedule a meeting, for example. And so let's go back with the back button. And we can swipe over here, and this is really the main menu. So let me go into this a little bit. We have messaging. And we can actually write text messages on the watch phone, and it's not too difficult. So I can go to create new message, and I'm not going to put a 2, but I'm going to type the message and say, hello, this is a test. And as you can see, this is using T9. So something very familiar to a lot of people. This is a test. There it is. This is a test. I'm going to press enter. There's the message. Very easy to use the text messaging, and you get sort of pop-up notifications when you get a text message. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to exit without saving. And we're back in our inbox. Go back again. So that was messaging. Again, you can't do email. It's only text messaging. We can go into contacts, and we can add a new contact. This will sync up with Outlook and a lot of other different mail programs. You can't do any sort of wireless sync. It's all done manually, which is kind of annoying. But again, this is a watch phone. It's not meant to replace your smartphone. It's meant to be sort of a supplement to it. So again, we can add contacts. We can search through the existing contacts to find someone to call. And here's a contact that I added, testing. So the green button there lets me call the person directly. Go back. Here are a couple of utilities, so we can go into multimedia. You can sync up a variety of music with this. It plays all the major formats, and it has 2 gigabytes of space. You would want to use, or you would have to use, a Bluetooth headset to get music out of this because there's no 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, certainly, on this watch phone. So we can go through some music, we can go to the camera and actually take pictures, so it's going to show me. So hey, there I am behind the camera, and smile. Take a picture, saves the picture, you can transfer it to your computer with the cable that's included with the watch phone. And of course here are a variety of other pictures that I've taken, pretty much doing the exact same thing. Well, you get the point. And it's just zoomed in. Very, very nice there. And let's go back. So, with a small screen, it's not the best picture viewer, but it works pretty well. And it stores about 1,900 pictures, depending on the quality level. On average, about 1,200 if you use the highest quality setting. We can go here into Organizer, and you already saw the calendar. There's also a to-do list. Quite simply, it's a task list that you would find on any basic smartphone. So we're going to go back. We can add memos if we want to, just say get the milk. So we tap there and say get. And I would bet that the speed of text entry, once you get used to this and you're not at a weird angle like I am right now, is akin to what you would get on a regular smartphone. I found myself to be very fast with this nice T9 pad. It's the buttons are large enough, the screen is sensitive enough, and it just works. Okay, and then there also are a couple of settings here for sort of memory info and the calendar, not too deep in terms of what you can change on this phone. Okay, and then there's a date finder in here, sort of very basic utilities. There's an alarm, certainly, so you can have multiple alarms, which is very handy to have on any sort of watch, certainly. We have voice recorder, so it works as advertised. This is a test of the voice recorder. Quality's pretty good, so this would be good to have in a meeting if you want to get somebody to say something, to remind you of something. Nice, handy voice recorder. And then we have a couple of tools in here, like a calculator. Got to have a calculator. And so it has a variety of functions. We have a world clock, a stopwatch, and I don't know what SDK is down here. Perhaps that is for developers. So I'm going to go back. Back again. And so now we're back to this main screen, and here are the settings, I should say, for the entire device before I was in the productivity settings. So we can add a Bluetooth device through this, and I have tried it with a headset. Quality is great. The range works quite well. We can change the profiles based on where you are. If you're in a meeting, you put it on silent. If you're outdoors, you want it to ring louder, you can do that as well. Okay, we can go to screen and change some things about this. We can change the top menu style. We can change it to sort of a larger style, a list style, a kind of honeycomb grid, so I'm just going to leave it on what it is. There it says change to confirm. We can change the backlight to turn off at certain intervals. We can change the brightness of the backlight, and right now it's at 100%. By default, oddly, it's at 100%. So if we bring it down, you can see that the screen still stays very usable. So if you're using this as a full-time phone, you probably want to turn the brightness down just to get enough battery life out of this. And that's pretty much the end of the settings. We also have connectivity there. This is the network settings. It automatically configured itself to the AT&T network, which was nice, but it really didn't have to do that much because I'm just using it for phone calls and text messages, not for data, because there's really not much you can do with this with data. It comes with a really nice program that lets you synchronize, like I said, but nothing is done over the air. So let's go back one more time. Now you're probably wondering how you make a call. Well, I'm almost there. Here we are. Video call and voice call. Since I can't do a video call, I'm going to jump to a video demonstrating a voice call. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. Okay, so let's actually do a test call here. I'm going to go to voice call. I'm going to take it off the screen here and dial a phone number. Okay, and it's dialing. And from this distance, you should be able to hear the person on the other end.
Hello?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Brandon, how's it going?
Am I coming through clearly?
Yeah, call quality's good.
Great. I'm going to increase the volume now. If you press and hold, I believe it is on the call start button, or maybe it's the back button. Yeah, here it is, the volume. So now if Mason talks, he'd probably be a bit louder.
How's it going?
Yeah, so the speaker distorts a little bit when it's at loud volume, but it's pretty clear, and I'm holding the watch about 12 to 15 inches away from my face, and he can still hear me, so that is pretty cool. So thanks for taking the call, Mason.
Absolutely, no problem.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
And then to end the call, of course, you press call end here, and it is done. So as a phone, the watch phone actually is a really good device. It's very clear. The other person can hear me very well. It's very easy to dial somebody, to call somebody. When calls ring through, it's very clear that somebody's calling. It's very easy to accept or reject. It works very well as a phone, but that's really it. If you think about it, it's kind of cool that they have been able to fit a full cell phone into a device the size of a watch. It's a really, really small device. But for $1,000, I really don't know who would want to buy something like this. Maybe a James Bond wannabe. If this was a quarter of the price, it could be a cool product to have, for the weekends or when you didn't want to carry around a full phone. But again, at $1,000, it's really prohibitively expensive for most of us. So that was a look at the LG GD910 watch phone, a really cool product if you've got the bucks. That's it for now.